speaking about debates and perceptions in the West, one of the most misinformed ones that comes to mind is the one about India. Time and again, we see that there are many myopic and inaccurate readings of Indian domestic issues, be it political or social, by Western commentators. Recently, there was a Pew Research survey that actually debunked a lot of such misreadings. And this is something that you have written about as well. Can you tell us, Ambassador Ji, about what this survey exactly talked about and what did it reveal?
Well, Kamal, the thing is that Western countries always wanted to look at India and other developing countries as forever developing. And India has many Singapores, as we say, but at the same time, we have our own problems of poverty, our problems of multiple religions. We also have had religious conflicts sometimes. But the media only looks at the friction points. Otherwise, it's not a news. And that is what's being fed into the system, apart from the various lobbies that are working from West Asia, from Pakistan, and from other Muslim world. So they have been creating some kind of a narrative that in India, minorities are not safe, including many of our civil society groups. But forgetting in the past that India has been a crucible of civilization and the races. And it is when we talk of unity, when we talk of diversity, India is very unique in that sense of the term. But this only, unless you know about it, you will not feel about it, you will not have studied about it, you will start thinking on the peripheral aspects of it. And whenever we have seen that sometimes some governments come and they take a different kind of an approach, and this is made out to become as if you are killing the very fabric of India. Now, that is what is the kind of thing. Secondly, as you know, that the top countries, very rich countries who have been helping you, when they look at you, they don't want to see you. Today, India is the third largest power. It is the sixth largest population in the world, right? So it counts there. It is claiming its rightful place at the same table on which the P5 countries sit. And so this is something that, so what can hurt you? What can hurt you is a poor impression of you, that you guys are fighting with each other. You can't tolerate Muslims, you can't tolerate Christians, you can't tolerate the other minorities, forgetting that all the minorities in the world, which you call them today, whenever they were persecuted, they came to India and India became their home, whether it is Jews, Parsis, or whatever. And they also forget that Islam and Christianity came to India much before it went to West Asia or to Europe. So they do just, the history is not their strong point, I would say. And therefore, it is very easy to make a narrative. For example, the democratic establishment in the USA will always pick on some of these issues, making them as human rights issues. Whereas tolerance is not in the sense that you're compelled to tolerate, but it's the nature of the people is like that. And that is what precisely this Pew Research survey, which was held on, I think, June end this year, 2021. And it's an American company, you know that. I mean, they are the ones, and they highlighted it in the study, and I'm glad it came, that religion in India, tolerance and segregation. But some of the key points that they made out, that was that Indians say that it is important to respect all religions. Like, that is the fundamental aspect. But major religious groups see little in common and want to live separately. Now, this became sort of a headline for them. It does not mean that people don't like one another, but everybody has a cultural tenet. As I always say, that a Muslim in the South is far different than a Muslim in North, or a Brahmin of North is way different than the Brahmin in the South in terms of their rituals, in terms of their food habits, and some different things. Way of worship, everything is changed. So India is a kaleidoscope. And that's what it is. It does not mean that you are completely making walls out of it. Of course, we have had Pakistan, which is divided on the basis of religion. So that gave more wind to these kind of things and continues. And occasionally we feel that theory is also debunked. But this Pew survey, which was about 30,000 people it did, and it very interestingly, it came out with some very key readings which I went through. It says that about 91% of the Hindus said that they were free to practice their religion in accordance with the Constitution. Indian Constitution provides for freedom of religion to anybody. And 89% of the Muslims said, and the Christians also, they agreed that they can do anything in India as far as their religion is concerned. There's no problem. So when you have some cow lynchings and this became a very big news. Of course, the greater responsibility lies on the government that these kind of incidents don't happen and people are punished to the maximum. So another thing that they were all agreeable, most of the people, I mean 90% and above, they said that tolerance is a religious and civic virtue in India. And it's a value that everybody imbibes. Indians were all united in the view that respecting other religions is a very important part of what it means to be a member of their own community. So it is not that if I'm a Muslim, I will debunk the other communities. That's not true. And this is precisely what was the good thing that happened in this. And then it continues to talk about each religion's specifics and which is, so it says that survey finally comes out that Indian people are not perfect, but Indian culture is superior to others. And this is across the spectrum. I hope that after doing this survey, which will be read by the Western clientele because it is for all of them, and I hope that some of the skewed narratives will be corrected. I don't have much hope. The reason being simple, because it is all driven by geo-religious politics in order to find some weak spots in a country so that you have a talking point because your X party, Y party. Today, Americans cannot claim to give sermons on democracy after January 6th. So there will be always some issues on which we'll be tackling. I think that India, we need to project better what we are doing, what our country is. I think we have not done a great job of projecting ourselves. We are great in soft power development and projection that way, helping people when in the need. But at the same time, what we are, we need to tell people, and I always say that we have underplayed our Islamic credentials. We should not. If Pakistan can get away, we are the second largest Muslim nation in the world, a country where so many presidents, so many vice presidents, chief of the army staff, general, air chief, this, that, intelligence chief, chief justices, and the top film actors of India. Majority of them are Muslim. Now, how do you say that there is one religion is being persecuted or being sidelined or something like that? So nobody looks at the facts. They're just sweeping generalizations, which we need to counter effectively by creating a right narrative of India.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.